There's a silent enemy that kills dreams, steals time, and chains destinies. It makes no noise, raises no alarms, yet it's present in the lives of millions. Laziness. And what's curious is that although we all know it, very few realize that the Bible holds powerful secrets to defeat it. Today I want to reveal 5 biblical insights that aren't the typical verses you always hear, but hidden truths that can transform your life. Stay until the end because perhaps the only thing separating you from your goals isn't lack of ability, but this silent habit. Let's begin. Tip number 1. Diligence opens the path to honor. Do you see a man skilled in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 29. Imagine for a moment that your talent, your effort, your dedication opens doors you never thought you'd touch. Did you know that the Bible assures us that diligence can bring you before kings? In other words, what you do with excellence will never go unnoticed. This proverb teaches us that laziness doesn't just steal time, it steals opportunities. The diligent person, the one who does well what's in his hands, sooner or later will be recognized. It's not about luck, but constant preparation. Whoever works with discipline becomes so valuable that life itself places him in bigger scenarios. Think of someone you know who always arrives on time, keeps his promises, and delivers quality work. That person doesn't need to beg for recognition. His very diligence places him on a different level. In contrast, the lazy man complains that nobody gives him opportunities when in reality what's missing is excellence. Diligence is like a golden key that opens invisible doors. It's like planting in silence day after day until one day you find yourself harvesting in a field you never thought you'd step on. Laziness makes you invisible, but excellence turns you into a light that others cannot ignore. Today, I invite you to ask yourself, how diligent are you in what you do? It doesn't matter if it's a big or small job, what matters is doing it with quality. Start with what you have in your hands. If you're a student, do your assignments with excellence. If you work, don't just do the minimum, do a little more. That's the seed that opens the path to honor. Write the word diligence in the comments to commit yourself today to leave laziness behind and start working with excellence. Tip number 2. Time is a sacred gift. Whatever your hand finds to do it with all your might, for there is no work or planning or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you are going. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 10. Have you ever felt that the day got away from you without realizing it? Like when you say, I'll start tomorrow, and that tomorrow never comes. The Bible warns us of something very strong. What you don't do today, you won't be able to do tomorrow. Time is a gift that doesn't repeat itself. This verse reminds us that life is short and that someday it will end. When that happens, there will be no more opportunities to act, create, learn, or build. Laziness steals the most valuable thing we have, our time. It's not just about doing many things, but about doing with commitment what we have in front of us, here and now. God doesn't ask us to be perfect. He asks us to be present. Because every minute you let pass is like a gold bill you throw in the trash. You surely know someone who always says, one day I'm going to write a book, when I have money I'm going to study, tomorrow I'll start the gym. And months pass, even years, and they keep repeating the same thing. That's the trap of laziness, disguising inaction with future promises. Meanwhile, someone else without excuses starts with little. The one who said, today I write 1 page, one day finishes the book. The one who said, today I walk 10 minutes, one day runs a marathon. It's not the one who dreams the most who achieves, but the one who acts the most. Time is a river that never passes through the same place twice. Every second you let escape is like a petal that falls to the ground and you can't stick back to the flower. Laziness is a silent thief that steals minutes, hours, days, until one day you wake up and understand that youth is gone, that opportunities have closed, and that what you didn't do, you can no longer do. The wise man of Ecclesiastes shouts to us from thousands of years ago, live with intention. Do what you have to do, not tomorrow, not later, but today. Today I want to challenge you. Don't postpone any longer what God put in your heart. You have a project, start even if it's with a small step. You have a dream, move forward even if it's slow. You have a pending task, do it today, even if it's difficult. Excellence is not in great starts, but in daily constancy. Write the word now in the comments as a declaration that you won't let laziness steal your time. That every time you see that word, you remember what you don't do today, tomorrow may be too late. Tip number 3. He who dreams without acting stays hungry. The soul of the sluggard craves and gets nothing, while the soul of the diligent is richly supplied. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 4. Dreaming is easy. We all dream. But what good is it to desire a better life if we never lift a finger to reach it? The Bible is clear. The lazy man fills himself with desires but never with results. And that's what explains why so many people remain in mediocrity. Because they confuse dreaming with building. This proverb puts before us an uncomfortable truth. Dreaming is not enough. Desires don't feed you. Intentions don't pay the bills. Illusions don't build businesses or families. The lazy man lives in an imaginary world where he always wants but never does. In contrast, the diligent man not only dreams, he acts, works, perseveres, and that's why he prospers. The difference is not in what they desire, because both desire. The difference is in what they do. You surely know someone who always says, "One day I'm going to have my own business. I'm going to learn a new skill to get better opportunities. I'm going to save to buy a house." But time passes and they never take the first step. They always have excuses, lack of time, lack of money, lack of motivation. And meanwhile, others who also had little, but who were diligent, built their business, learned new skills, or bought their house. It's like someone who sits looking at an empty field wishing to have a harvest, but never plants a single seed. No matter how much he dreams, his table will remain empty. Laziness paints castles in the air, but never places a brick on the ground. It's a mirage, much desire, zero fruits. Dreams without action are like clouds that dissipate in the wind. In contrast, small constant steps become firm mountains that everyone can see. God calls us to be doers, not passive dreamers, because He blesses the one who sows, who waters, who works with faith. The soul of the diligent, says the proverb, will be richly supplied. It's like a tree that not only blooms in words, but bears fruit in abundance. Today I want you to do an honest examination. How many things do you desire, but don't act on? Make a list and start with just one. Don't wait to have everything perfect. Start even if it's small, even if it's clumsy, even if it's slow, because dreams come true with action, not with intention. Don't stay hungry having a fertile field in front of you. Get up, plant, work, and you will harvest. Write the word dream in the comments to declare that from today you're not only going to desire, but to act. That your life will not be a catalogue of empty intentions, but a testimony of achieved accomplishments. Tip number 4. Spiritual discipline conquers apathy. I discipline my body and keep it under control, lest after preaching to others, I myself should be disqualified. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 27. Laziness doesn't always show up in the physical. Sometimes you get up late. Other times you meet the basics, but deep down you feel that apathy is stealing your soul. Has it happened to you that you want to pray, read, learn, work, but you simply don't feel like it? Paul knew this well, and that's why he said, "I discipline my body and keep it under control." In other words, discipline is the key to overcoming spiritual and emotional laziness. This verse teaches us that the body will always want comfort. The mind will always seek the easy path. But if we let that instinct dominate us, we'll never reach anything great. Paul reminds us that we must train ourselves like an athlete, with discipline, with effort, with constancy. Laziness is conquered not by waiting to feel like it, but by acting even when you don't feel like it. That's discipline, doing the right thing, even though you don't want to do it. Look at how it works in simple things. Do you want to exercise? Don't wait to have motivation. Put on your clothes and go for a walk. Do you want to learn a language? Don't wait to feel inspiration. Study even if it's just 10 minutes a day. Do you want to pray more? Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Bend your knees even when you're tired. The difference between the one who advances and the one who stagnates is not in motivation, but in discipline. Because the lazy man moves only when he feels like it, but the diligent man moves even when he doesn't feel like it. Discipline is the art of planting in dry land, trusting that one day it will rain. It's tying your shoes when your body asks for bed. It's turning on the lamp when your soul wants darkness. It's telling laziness, "You will not be my master, I will be your master." Apathy is like a fog that puts you to sleep. But discipline is like a sun that breaks through the haze and shows you the way. Spiritual life and practical life flourish in the one who knows how to master himself. Today I challenge you to take control of your life. Start with a small daily discipline habit. Get up 15 minutes earlier to pray. Write 3 goals for the day. Do something that costs you even if you don't feel like it. Don't wait to feel motivation. Motivation comes when it sees the fruits of discipline. Remember, discipline is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Write the word discipline in the comments as a declaration that you're going to stop waiting to feel like it and start living with constancy. That every time you see it, you remember that your body doesn't command, your spirit commands. Tip number 5. Laziness is unfaithfulness to purpose. You wicked and slothful servant. You ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming I should have received what was my own with interest. Matthew chapter 25, verses 26 to 27. Imagine that someone entrusts you with a treasure, and instead of making it grow, you bury it in the ground out of fear, comfort, or laziness. That's what happened in the parable of the talents. And what many don't know is that Jesus didn't call that servant lazy, but wicked and slothful. In other words, laziness is not neutral. It's a betrayal of the purpose God placed in your hands. This passage teaches us that God has given us talents, gifts, opportunities, time, and resources. And He expects us to use them, to multiply them, to do something with them. The problem of the lazy man is not just that he does nothing, it's that he buries what was entrusted to him. When you don't develop your gifts, when you let your opportunities pass, when you stay in your comfort zone, you're not just being lazy, you're being unfaithful to the purpose of your life. And that's more serious than we think. How many times have we heard phrases like these? I'm good at writing, but I've never tried a book. I sing well, but I'm embarrassed to show my voice. I have business ideas, but I don't want to take the risk. That's the parable of the buried talent. Gifts hidden under the ground of laziness, excuses, or fear. And what happens? Others who do take risks, even though they have less, end up multiplying theirs and receiving even more. Life doesn't reward the one who buries his talents, but the one who dares to put them to work. Laziness is like a premature grave where living dreams are buried. It's a silent betrayal, because what God put in you wasn't meant to remain hidden, but to illuminate the world. Being lazy is not simply resting too much, it's denying life the fruit you were supposed to give. God didn't create you to hide your light, but for it to shine on high. Faithfulness is demonstrated when you multiply what you have, even if it's little. Unfaithfulness, on the other hand, is hiding it under the excuse of, I can't, I don't know, or I don't have. Today I want to challenge you. Think of a talent, a gift, an idea that you've been burying. It could be writing, teaching, speaking, singing, entrepreneurship, serving, whatever. Do something with it this very week. Don't bury it anymore. Start small, but start. Because in the end, God won't ask you to account for what He didn't give you, but for what He did give you, and you left buried. Write the word purpose in the comments as a way to declare that you're not going to bury anymore what God gave you, but that you're going to multiply it. We've covered 5 biblical truths that are rarely heard, but that have the power to change your life. The diligence that opens doors, the time that doesn't return, the dreams that only come true with action, the discipline that breaks apathy, and the faithfulness that honors purpose. Laziness is that silent thief that steals not just your time, but your future. But today, you have the power to decide. Will you continue burying your talents, postponing your dreams, and giving away your days to apathy? Or are you going to get up and walk with diligence, taking advantage of time, acting on your dreams, exercising discipline, and being faithful to what God entrusted to you? I want you to think about it. Every minute that passes is a brick in the building of your life. Will it be a solid building or will it be empty ground? That depends on what you do from today. Brothers, the choice is yours. The Bible has given us the roadmap. The question is, will you follow it? Will you be the man who stands before kings because of his diligence? Will you be the one who seizes today instead of waiting for tomorrow? Will you be the doer instead of just the dreamer? Will you master your body through discipline? Will you multiply the talents God gave you? These aren't just nice ideas or motivational speeches. These are biblical commands, divine wisdom that has stood the test of thousands of years. Men who changed the world, who built legacies, who made a difference, they all understood one simple truth. Laziness is not an option when you have a God-given purpose. Look at the men of the Bible. David didn't become king by sitting around. He tended sheep diligently. He faced Goliath with courage. He led his men with discipline. Joseph didn't rise to become second in command of Egypt by being lazy. He worked faithfully in Potiphar's house. He served diligently in prison. He acted wisely when given opportunity. Paul didn't spread the gospel to the known world by being comfortable. He traveled relentlessly. He wrote continuously. He preached boldly. He suffered willingly. These were men of action, men of discipline, men who understood that every day mattered, that every talent had to be used, that every opportunity was sacred. And here's the thing, God hasn't changed. He still calls men to rise up, to shake off laziness, to pursue excellence, to act with urgency, to discipline themselves, to multiply their gifts. The same God who empowered those men is ready to empower you. But you have to do your part. You have to choose diligence over laziness. You have to choose action over procrastination. You have to choose discipline over comfort. You have to choose faithfulness over fear. These choices aren't made once. They're made every single day, every single hour, every single moment. When your alarm goes off in the morning, that's a choice. When you sit down to work, that's a choice. When you feel like quitting, that's a choice. When you're tempted to waste time, that's a choice. And the sum of all these small choices determines whether you build a life of purpose or a life of regret. I've seen too many men reach the end of their lives filled with regret. I wish I had started that business. I wish I had learned that skill. I wish I had served God more faithfully. I wish I had used my time better. Don't be that man. Don't let laziness write your epitaph. Instead, be the man who can look back and say, I fought the good fight. I finished the race. I kept the faith. I used what God gave me. I didn't waste the time He granted me. I didn't bury my talents. I multiplied them. The clock is ticking. Every second that passes is a second you'll never get back. You can't pause time, you can't rewind it, you can't buy more of it. But you can use it wisely. You can fill it with purpose. You can invest it in things that matter. So here's my final challenge to you. Starting right now, today, this very moment, make a decision. Decide that laziness will no longer have dominion over you. Decide that you will be diligent in your work. Decide that you will seize every day. Decide that you will act on your dreams. Decide that you will discipline yourself. Decide that you will be faithful to your God-given purpose. And then, after you make that decision, take action. Don't just think about it. Don't just feel motivated for a moment. Do something concrete. Open that document and start writing. Make that phone call you've been avoiding. Study that material you've been putting off. Exercise that discipline you've been neglecting. Start using that gift you've been hiding. Remember, the Bible doesn't just give us information, it gives us transformation. But transformation only happens when we apply what we learn. Knowledge without action is useless. Hearing without doing is worthless. You can know every verse about diligence and still be lazy. You can understand every principle of productivity and still waste your life. The question is not, do you know what to do? The question is, will you do what you know? God has done His part. He's given you His word. He's given you His spirit. He's given you talents. He's given you time. He's given you opportunities. Now it's your turn. What will you do with what He's given you? Will you be found faithful? Will you be the man who stands before kings? Will you be the one who seized his time? Will you be the doer of dreams? Will you be the disciplined warrior? Will you be the multiplier of talents? The answer to these questions starts today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect. Today, right now, this moment. Get up. Shake off the dust of laziness. Break the chains of procrastination. Reject the comfort of apathy. Embrace the challenge of diligence. Step into your purpose. And watch as God opens doors you never imagined, gives you opportunities you never expected, and uses you in ways you never dreamed. Your life is a gift. Your time is precious. Your talents are valuable. Your purpose is significant. Don't waste them. Don't bury them. Don't squander them. Use them. Multiply them. Maximize them. And when you stand before your Creator one day, may you hear those words every faithful servant longs to hear. Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. That's the reward of diligence. That's the result of seizing your time. That's the outcome of acting on your dreams. That's the prize of discipline. That's the crown of faithfulness. Will you pursue it? Will you fight for it? Will you work for it? Will you sacrifice for it? Will you discipline yourself for it? The choice is yours. Choose wisely. Choose today. Choose action. Choose purpose. Choose life. May God bless you, strengthen you, and empower you to overcome laziness and walk in the fullness of the purpose He has for your life. Amen.